Better prove it to you. Job for your mom.
How are you doing?
And it's time for you to do something new. Do the thing you hesitated to do. Sign your name on the dotted line. Don't vote the way that you voted last time. Life is serious, don't be misled. This is the time to vote very red. Red for city council. For teachers, a man that's for kids. Time to undo that bad thing that they did. A man who's for justice and all those who work. Get busy, pull the sleeves on your shirt. Whether it's in Southeast, over Ridge Road, or Columbia Heights, baby, let's go.
I'm seeking your vote on April 23rd. Now, my candidacy is different from the others. My candidacy is for a constituency whose shoes I've walked in, whose shoes I live in, whose shoes I've been in. Now, my campaign is not symbolic, and many will say that because I'm the DC Statehood Green Party candidate. The fact of the matter is, 12 of the 13 members on our council are Democrats, and Democrats haven't served us well. The fact of the matter is, for 30 years, they've been making plans to do the right thing by returning citizens. But we saw on December 4th that they didn't do the right thing. We saw on December 17th that they didn't do the right thing. So my question is, when are folks going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired? Asking for crumbs off the table is just unacceptable.
Right. That's right.
It is time to do something different and get it right. Against closing our public schools, our traditional schools. I am for a moratorium on further charter expansion. Why? Because we have enough charters in the city. Now the question is negotiating. Now we border on and the city hasn't even examined this, but we border on the lines of unconstitutionality. Since when have we forgotten that separate cannot be equal? We have two separate school systems, and just the fact that we have unequal autonomy in those school systems means that we are not affording the same service to one group that we are another. We have two different systems, charter schools and traditional public schools. And the 1954 Supreme Court said that separate could never be equal. It was probably one of the greatest decisions ever made in American jurisprudence. The fact of the matter is, what we are doing is setting ourselves up for unconstitutionality. It's a separate. The council person in that 13th seat that will be against any closures of traditional schools and any further expansion of charter schools. But also on our platform, we have a plan called Pride in Our Public Assets. And what that means is we cannot continue to give away our public assets. There will be no heritage or legacy for our children if we do that.
I would propose what I call our open source software solution, where every phone call that I would make as councilman would go into an open source software database that would be, that citizens would be able to monitor online or down in 441 Judiciary Square. Every meeting that I'm in, every person that I meet with, because understand this is a position of sacrifice where we are in service to the general public, to our DC residents. And I believe that every meeting we have, every contract negotiation we have needs to be put in the public forum where you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now, it's pretty bold and others are resistant to it. But we've had enough corruption, we've had enough backroom deals like the 6 Walmarts that came into our city without citizen input. And I believe, or the lottery contract, how it came into the city without citizen input. And I would use, of course, councilperson report card as well, where the citizens get to grade my work. I only plan on one term, one full term, because people get in that office, they get way too comfortable.
Factually speaking, we need a living wage in this city, a living wage ordinance in the city, which would raise the wages. It's no excuse why any public servant doesn't live in this city. The fact of the matter is, we got people in this city who don't earn a living wage, who are living in this city, surviving in this city, struggling in this city. So, factually speaking, I support that.
In a community where you want one city, the mayor's vision, which is a noble vision, you must treat the underserved as equals. Now that's a hard thing to grasp when you've gotten there, when you're up there. We can't kick the ladder down. Our city doesn't pay a living wage to its workers, to those who work in service occupations. So I propose a living wage ordinance. When we introduced our platform on December 17th, I said that we have to have a living wage ordinance in the city. So that's achievement.
Thank you.
Citizens to work through the fuss. A city councilman who fights statehood for us. Red for city council.
We took a walk, the candidates took a walk down Georgia Avenue with the Georgia Avenue Development Task Force. And we had the opportunity to look at newly developed projects where 30% was supposed to be affordable housing. And, the developer, just with no oversight from council, was allowed to skirt that. I don't like the idea of waiving inclusionary zoning. So what I would do chiefly is take back any tax incentives, any tax abatements when it comes to providing this affordable housing, and the developers are not making the inclusionary zone, or not holding to the inclusionary zoning agreement.
Walk down the Georgia Avenue corridor with the Georgia Avenue Development Task Force. There was a candidates walk. Some of the candidates are here today who walked down there. And we saw properties, these beautiful properties, that are going up in our city, that are looking so gorgeous, aesthetically sound, but no affordable housing. One developer got to put 40 units up and only 2 afforded to affordable housing. That's a crime. And they get tax breaks. So what I would propose is, number one, take their tax breaks, take their tax incentives off the rate. I also am for a minute and a half, right?
That's
okay.
right.
All right. I'm on my half. Now, I would also advocate for those citizens who've been in the city for 40 years or more. I would advocate for a serious tax deduction, a tax break there. For the ones 20 years over, that's tax deduction as well. Maybe not as great as the ones 40 years over. But the fact is, we need a tax break. And I support a progressive tax structure as a whole, where the rich, the top 2% pay a fair share of their income in taxes. Because the way it is right now, it is unfair to the middle income earner.
Thank you.
Very red for city council. Red for DC City Council. Very red.